I'm Kelly Miller, and I'm a librarian here at the University of Miami Libraries. And I'm here today with my colleague, Scott Rogers, professor in the law school and director of the University of Miami Law School's Mindfulness program, and really the founder, instigator of this whole wonderful program we have at the Richter Library. So thank you, Scott, for being here with me today. So what we'll be doing today is I'll be starting off our practice with a brief opening meditation and saying a few words, and then passing the mic over to Scott. And Scott's going to be leading us in a loving kindness meditation today, which is a wonderful practice that helps warm up or gladden the heart, mind, and body, and really helps us feel kindness towards both ourselves and others. So I thought we'd begin with what's called an affectionate body scan. We're going to do a very abbreviated version of an affectionate body scan. And for those of you familiar with body scans, we take our attention, our kind attention, and we turn it to different parts of the body very methodically, noting each part of the body and what the sensations are there. With the affectionate body scan, we add a little step, and that step is to send well wishes for happiness and ease to those body parts. And it can help generate this warmth and kindness in the heart that Scott, it'll help us warm up for Scott's practice that he's going to lead us in today. So just like in the body scan, you may notice feelings of all kinds of sensations, whether relaxation or even you could have warmth or temperature, or you could even notice discomfort or pain. So whatever you notice, simply welcome it, notice it, invite it, and we're going to really just be aware of what's in the body and then send these well wishes. So I'll lead you through the practice. So please find a seat that's comfortable, where you can be both dignified and at ease, relaxed and alert. And preferably if your feet can be on the ground, so flat on the ground, that helps. So finding the position that feels comfortable to you. And when you're ready, you can lower the gaze and allow the eyes to close gently. With these movements, we are establishing a simple sense of presence, waking up the power of our awareness. Take a few long, slow, deep breaths, feeling into the entire body. And now letting go of the breath as best you can, just allowing it to be natural and easy. And now bring your attention to your feet on the ground. Notice the way your feet feel. If you have shoes on, how the feet feel in the shoes. If you're barefoot, how the feet feel on the floor, on the ground. Inviting in whatever sensation is present in this moment and allowing it to be. And now we'll send some affection to the feet. These feet, for all they do on our behalf, can feel gratitude and warmth. So offer an inward smile to your feet and repeat silently in your mind, may my feet be happy and at ease. May my feet be happy and at ease. And even if the words feel a little silly, maybe it feels, kind of like, what exactly would this do? Go ahead and try it. See how it feels. It's worth doing. So for the sake of the practice, offer your feet these wishes. May my feet be kind. May my feet be happy and at ease. And now shift your awareness to your legs. These legs that take us all over the earth, walking here and there. So shift your awareness to the whole leg, the calves, the knees, the thighs, noticing any sensations that may be present. Simply notice whatever is there, whether it's heat or pressure, tingling, pain. Just notice it. And then with kind, caring attention, repeat silently. May my legs be happy and at ease. And now shifting your attention to the lower torso, the buttocks, the hips, the pelvic region, the belly, feeling into this region of the body, noticing whatever sensations may be present. And notice any thoughts or emotions that arise and kindly allow them to be, and then allow them to pass by. And now we'll offer this area of the body our kind wishes for happiness and ease. So may my hips and belly be happy and at ease. Now shifting your attention to the back, to the lower back, to the mid back, and the upper back. Feeling into the whole back, noticing whatever sensations may be present here. You may notice ease or discomfort, tension, numbness, or nothing at all. Whatever you notice, send kind wishes for happiness and ease to your back. May my back be happy and at ease. And now shifting your attention to the chest, to the lungs and the heart. Noticing anything here. Could be a sense of temperature, heat, coolness, constriction, spaciousness, whatever you notice, allow it to be. And then offer happiness and ease. May my heart be happy and at ease. May my lungs be happy and at ease. And now bring attention to your hands and your arms. Feeling into the hands, to the wrists, to the forearms, the elbows, the upper arm, the whole arm. Noticing any sensations that are present here. May my hands be happy and at ease. May my arms be happy and at ease. And now shifting your attention to your shoulders, neck, and head. noticing any sensations here. May my shoulders, neck, and head be happy and at ease. And now opening your awareness wide, feeling your entire body sitting here in this moment, in this chair, and offer wishes for happiness and ease to the whole body, resting here. May this body be happy and at ease. May this body be filled with well-being. And as this meditation comes to an end, notice whatever state your body is in right now, whatever mood is present. And can even offer congratulations to yourself for doing this warming practice, this practice of offering affection to the body. And when you're ready, you can begin to move the toes, the hands, begin to move the body as you'd like, as you feel comfortable, and then raise the gaze and return to the group. So this practice that we just did, in which we offer loving kindness wishes to the body, can be really helpful and beneficial. And so I invite you to try it out this coming week and see if at different moments during the week when you might need a little bit of self-compassion, this may be something you can turn to. And you can do it in small ways, you know, it can just be noticing your hands while you're washing dishes. You can send well wishes to your hands, or if you're gardening or doing any kinds of regular everyday tasks, chores, just notice what your hands are doing. We can also do this for your feet, you know, when you're walking, noticing your feet, offering gratitude for having these two amazing things that sort of help us move around. I think when I initially learned about loving kindness, and I thought, would it kind of make me weak? You know, is it like a soft practice? I grew up in a military family. I was like, I don't know, how will this go over? And I just found it so wonderful and helpful. And so I'm glad that Scott's going to be leading us today in the more sort of traditional practice where we offer it to ourselves and others. And I just want, before I pass it off to Scott, I just wanted to share that this week where it came up for me is I went to the grocery store, and I haven't been to the grocery store much. I've been trying to be very deliberate about when I go, but when I went this week, I just noticed so many emotions in myself, even as I was entering the grocery store, you know, in this unusual way, right, with the mask on, and just sensing how the feeling interacting with others was so different than normal. And so I found, like, wishing myself well, trying to, you know, maintain equilibrium, equanimity, just a kind of sense of stability and calm, but also noticing when there was like excitement about going into the grocery store, because it's gonna be kind of a sensory experience. I noticed that. And then I also noticed this desire to be efficient, right? To make sure that I got in and out in a effective way. And so an interesting thing happened. I was waiting to get an item from a shelf, and I noticed I was giving physical distance to another person, and all of a sudden a woman came through and sort of took an item very, very close to me, and I sensed myself, you know, a little bit of nervousness and also a little bit of judgment right? What is this woman doing? And something popped in my head, and it was the loving kindness. It was the this sense of common humanity, that we are all, as human beings, experiencing these really complicated emotions right now. And I realized I saw in her what I myself was feeling, this desire to be very efficient and get everything I needed and get out of the store as quickly and effectively as possible. So I used this phrase, like, just like me. Oh, just like me, you know, rushing for something. And that kind of helped me with that judgment that I had and a little bit of fear. And then suddenly I had this better connection with her. And it's this practice that I can say I owe that to. So Scott, with that, I'll pass it off to you and say thank you so much for being here to lead us in this practice.
Thank you, Kelly. And it's nice to be here with all of you. And how wonderful, Kelly, that you thought to have us begin with a kindness, loving kindness, as you say, in many ways, and gratitude practice for ourselves, and to really have it go deep, to really have it be a body scan. So you really brought together these different practices in a very coherent way. We went through the body, we attended to the sensations, and we brought a moment's appreciation in the lovely and fun language that you offered us. And so the loving kindness practice that will begin in just a moment is one that in many ways picks up where that leaves off in a very interesting way, because we'll begin wishing kindness and happiness and health and safety and ease. The happy and ease were a part of each of those earlier well wishes for ourselves, and then to move on to others. And we'll do it in a very deliberate way. And it's a way that, to pick up from what Kelly just shared about being in the grocery store, can be very pertinent in our lives when we are home with others or out and about, because we are sometimes going to be with others in close proximity and have those judgments arise, or we'll be with others and they'll be suffering and we won't, and or we'll be out and about and maybe feeling an aversion because of the masks or a desire to be close. And so looking forward to sharing this practice, and in many ways, as Kelly already suggested, it's to be brought into the world, even sometimes very little forms, and we can talk about the little tips for doing that. So we will begin wishing kindness for ourselves in a very directed way. There will be phrases, and this is a focused attention practice as much as it is a heart opening practice, because we will be attending to specific phrases, holding them in mind, and moving through ourselves to different people, some close to us, some more distant, some with whom we might have a challenging relationship. And when we get to that person, please choose compassionately for yourself. It's not meant to be the most challenging person in the world for you, but it can be a meaningful practice, as this is a practice in helping us to open our own hearts in ways that are not dependent upon what's taking place around us, but to have it be a vital aspect of our own true nature, more naturally and spontaneously felt and expressed. So with that, let us bring ourselves into a posture that is upright and stable. And if you're laying down, if you're in a place where you can be laying down, that's fine. So this is a practice of waking up, so don't lay down if you might fall asleep, unless you wish to. As we lower or close our eyes, whichever you prefer, resting attention on the sensations of this precious body as we breathe. And taking a few slower, deeper breaths, as that can be helpful to relax a little, to calm down. And it's nice to begin a practice so that we might be a little steadier, even if just a little bit. Breathing in And breathing out. It's just a little slower, just a little deeper, just a little smoother and fuller on the exhalation. Breathing in and breathing out, slowly, steady. In and out. Allowing the breath to resume its natural pacing and rhythm, whatever that may be in this moment. As you bring to mind a sense of yourself. Perhaps at this very moment you visualize or you feel or have a sense of the you that is here, or you in general. And as you bring to mind and hold visually, in whatever way you may, a sense of yourself, wishing for yourself, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from worry. May I live with ease of heart and peace of mind. As we breathe, and as in many practices, should the mind wander and you realize it, to gently return to wherever we may be in the instruction. At this moment, it's aware of the breath flowing through the body. And part of this practice is to be aware of the feelings that arise from time to time. So even as we wish well for ourselves, we may notice a satisfaction, a relief, an ease in doing so. We might notice a little bit of an aversion. And this practice has room for all of that because it's really a practice in being aware. And as a sense of ourself recedes into the background of awareness, to bring to mind someone who's been very good to you in this life, a benefactor, a champion. Could even be a precious and beloved pet. Someone who has offered you as best they could love and support, whether they're alive or they've passed on. And as you hold a sense of this being in your mind and your heart, to wish for them in whatever way makes sense. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be well, healthy. May you be with ease of heart and peace of mind, free from worry. And there's a sense of this being recedes into the background, always with us, but in the background of awareness. We bring to mind someone for whom we don't really have much of a relationship at all. They're neutral. They're the person that you might have seen earlier today passing you by and you remember that moment, or somebody that you might interact with ever so briefly when you pick up something at a front desk or mail, and with a sense of this person in mind, this neutral person, relatively neutral, close as neutral as you might find, wishing for them. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be with ease of heart, peace of mind. And there's a sense of this neutral person moves into the background to bring to mind someone with whom things are a little challenging. Maybe over a period of time, or maybe just today, yesterday, a difficult interaction. And as you hold a sense of this person in mind, as best you can, wish for them. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy, free from worry. May you live with ease of heart and peace of mind. And as a sense of this being recedes into the background, aware of the in-breath and the out-breath, and of the body through which this breath flows, to bring to mind a sense of all beings, all creatures, everywhere, near and far, experiencing joys and sadnesses, celebrations and moments of despair, and all connected now more than ever with something that's on most everyone's mind, influencing our days, wherever we may be. And with a sense of all beings, ourselves included, in mind and heart, to wish, may all beings everywhere be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy, free from worry. May we all live with ease of heart and peace of mind. Aware of this body, sitting, in whatever way this body is, aware of the body making contact with what's beneath it or behind it, even of the air making contact with the skin, and of the breath flowing through the body. As we breathe in and out, the gift of the breath not lost on us. And when you're ready, in the next moment or two, with an awareness of doing so, lifting the gaze, opening the eyes. And so in a little bit, we might talk about ways of having some of those phrases, may you be happy or may you be safe, be brought into moments when you might find yourself caught in the ways that Kelly mentioned. And we all find ourselves from time to time as a way of waking up. To even offer the phrase is to wake up and realize that judgment or that appreciation or those wishes. And then to offer it, especially on a regular basis, may very much allow for an even more easy, open-hearted way of being, especially in the moments that can be challenging, where we become defensive or judgmental, which only affects us as much as anyone else. So Kelly, thank you for setting us in motion today.
Oh, thank you, Scott, for leading us in that beautiful practice. It can be challenging, though. I know that maybe initially at first, if you're just learning about this practice, it can awaken some, obstacles or things that it might not feel entirely comfortable. So we'd love to answer any questions, or if you had observations about how that practice went for you, please use the chat box and share with us what your experience was in either of the practices we did, and if you have any questions. And I should add that asking questions is really a gift to other people as well, because if you have a question, very likely other people, someone else in the room also has that question or a variation. So we'll all benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, these days there's more and more of a focus on self-compassion, on compassion practices, on loving kindness practices, which have a rich tradition and go back and are now being researched more and more. So it's nice to have a collection of different types of practices, from focusing attention on the breath and concentrating attention to the body, noticing sensations in the body, because there's always sensations in the body and they influence us, to cultivating a kind and reflective, open-hearted way of being in relationship to ourselves and others. So Bettina, very different to be practicing in community again. Yeah, it's nice to come together. In what way is it different, Bettina?
We'll give Bettina a chance to write. Thank you for your patience with using the chat feature. We really appreciate that. Scott, one thing I've learned as I've sort of studied this practice a little bit is actually, Bettina just wrote an answer to us. The emotions translate even through the internet. Oh, that's joy, a little bit of joy. Thank you, Bettina. Absolutely. Sense of common humanity. And I've been actually noticing my own, I've been having some aversion to Zoom meetings lately, or just feeling that fatigue that I think many of us may feel. And I've been also trying to balance that out with a little appreciation for the fact that we have this technology at all, that there's, in that way, it's magical. Oh, heck, how in the heck can we do this? It's just unbelievable in some ways that these little boxes can appear and we can somehow communicate through them. So, yeah.
And it's a reminder that these emotions we're all connected, that's for sure. And these emotions are arising within us. We oftentimes think that it's our circumstances that are the primary dictator of how we feel moment by moment. And while they certainly can play a role, it is largely within us in that regard. And so that translating even through the internet and the utility of online teaching, as you mentioned, Bettina, is something that we cultivate even more of, right? That we can establish and cultivate these emotions, these affirming, wholesome, skillful ways of relating to each other, regardless of the medium, though it's nice to be together in person, to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
What were you asking, Kelly?
In the loving kindness, one important clarification, I think that at one point, I think was helpful to me, so I'll just share it, was that these loving kindness wishes, or these wishes for kindness and happiness and ease, or and actually as a note, you can use other words that feel good to you. So if there's another word, whether it's peaceful or calm, or you can come up with other words that feel right to you. But I think it was important for me to learn that these aren't like positive affirmations. They're not like saying something, you might have pain, right? And so you're not necessarily saying everything's okay when it's not. You're setting an intention and sort of setting the direction of your heart, or your to that the state be different. Is that a fair way to, or is that an accurate way to?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's quite, yeah, it's important to know that, we're not actually going to, believe that we're necessarily affecting anybody else directly through those wishes, for example, that it is a cultivation within ourselves. And Cammie's question, which is sort of, where does it sort of come from, and also is responsive to that interesting observation, Kelly. So in various wisdom traditions, there are 4 states that we can cultivate. They are sympathetic joy or empathic joy, which is to be happy for somebody else's good fortune. And of course, we know that sometimes we do quite the opposite, just instinctively. We can be jealous or wish it were us, or somehow think it's going to affect us. There's compassion, to feel compassion, and somebody else is experiencing pain and difficulty, to have a compassionate heart that just spontaneously reaches out to them. There's loving kindness. It's fundamental, and it's one Sharon Salzberg has, of these 4 over the last 50 years, really helped bring into our understanding of this practice and its importance. And the 4th one is equanimity, which Kelly mentioned earlier on, this ability to ride through the moments of life, be they pleasant or unpleasant, without making them into better moments than they in fact are, or worse circumstances than reality actually suggests. And so these 4 sort of come together and to support each other. And so the word loving kindness is the sort of the Western definition or translation of metta, which has that heartful way of being. And it's written sometimes as 1 word, sometimes it's as 2 words, sometimes it's written in sort of different ways. But what it means in many ways is that wishing, that open-heartedness. And as I think Kelly was pointing to, even if there's a difficult person who you don't want, like I don't want them to be happy. I mean, they're terrible. They did a horrible thing. If we can be less resistant, we can perhaps be more skillful in how the decisions we make to take care of ourselves and to be at ease as we go through a world that at times can be very cruel. So you can learn more about the 4 Brahma Viharas, as they're sometimes referred to, but I would encourage you to read up on Sharon Salzberg. And also Loving Kindness. Mindful magazine this month had Loving Kindness on the cover of the magazine, because it seems like it's very apt for these times, which is why it's so wonderful, Kelly, that you brought it up. And I see that there's other comments too, Kelly.
Great. Oh yes, thank you, Scott. Let's see. Oh, and yes, I mentioned, so we have some of Sharon Salzberg's books available as ebooks and also print books, but ebooks are most useful at the moment. So in the libraries. So let's see, Trey has written, Kelly's story about the grocery store was the second great reminder today of the way I can fall into the trap of judging others for behaviors I myself do. George Washington Carver said, how far you go in life depends on your being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, and tolerant of the weak and strong, because someday in your life you will have been all of these. Oh, Trey, thank you. That's a beautiful quote to really close on. I think we're coming into the end of the session, and thank you, Trey. That was a gift in the chat box. So, and thank you, George Washington Carver. Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly, for making all this happen for you and your devoted team. It's now been how many? It's been several years that on a weekly basis, the Richter, as the one of the libraries in particular, but the library system has been offering a mindfulness session to our community, and that's really that's a gift as well.
Thank you, Scott. Well, we're grateful for the collaboration, and we're grateful for all of you being here with us today. And thanks again to the team that helped support us today. And we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. So be safe and healthy, and savor the happy moments and when they occur. And we'll hope to see you next week. Okay.